Hello, everyone, and welcome to My Spectrum Life. I'm Jessica, and with me is my co host, Kelsey. And today, whenever you have a chance to listen or watch the podcast, whether you're with us live now or you're listening or watching at a later time, we just want to welcome you and let you know we're going to be talking about autism awareness as we are quickly approaching April, which is Autism Awareness Month. But first of all, we are doing this on March 30th, 2020, with that big old pandemic. So, yes, the big question is how you holding up there, Kelsey?
We're holding up all right. Just enjoying some downtime, being out there in the fresh air and getting to know myself a little bit better. How are you doing over
That's
there?
good. It's getting increasingly difficult for us to be out and about as we live in a more populous area than you are. Your abiding is at. I'll just say that. We're smack dab in the middle of a very populous area, and we're getting more and more restrictions put down on us because people are not staying home like they should.
Yeah.
So, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, if it's still part of the pandemic, please stay home.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Yes, as the saying goes, stay home, stay safe. So, apart from that, what does autism awareness look like? That's
That's the big question.
I always start by looking at definitions of words. So we have talked at length at what autism is, that it's a neurological condition that is characterized by issues with social interactions, with repetition, rigidity in schedules. What am I missing here? Sensory issues.
Anxiety.
Yep. There's a lot of different facets to this thing, and so we've pretty much been able to define or get a good idea of what autism is. So I started with what is awareness, and I went to my good friend Merriam-Webster's dictionary online. And as awareness, as defined by Merriam-Webster.com, is the quality or state of being aware, knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. So I would put forth that most people are aware of autism, but they may not be aware of the differences of the fact that it's a spectrum.
Right.
Because, as we say all the time, when you've seen one person with autism, you've seen one person with autism. And so I think that's the biggest thing. What do you think?
I think you really hit the nail on the head. I think you explained it very well. I think a lot of times autism is a spectrum, and once you've seen one, you've seen one. I also think piggybacking on what you did say, sometimes it can be, as I said before, it could mirror another behavior when reality it's not what it was. It's not a tantrum. It's actually a meltdown.
Right.
So I think people are aware, but I don't think they have the correct terminology or aware of the labels, or terminology is a better way to put it, but terminology that goes with those actions or those behaviors.
Right. Right. Because I mean, I've read so many different places and have experienced this myself, just because a child may be throwing a fit in a store. Sure, there are those who are throwing temper tantrums. However, if it is an autistic child, then there's no way for you to just look and know that it's an autistic child.
Right.
It could be something completely different, because a lot of people don't understand that when an autistic child or a person goes into a store of some sort, that store is so overwhelming when it comes to the stimuli that it just may be completely overwhelming their sensory input so much that they just can't handle it. And so, they see something blue instead of red, and it should be red. I had to avoid a meltdown the other day. This is a for instance. I barely avoided a meltdown the other day because my son had to do a geometry portfolio, and it was called a crazy pizza portfolio. And so they were supposed to figure out the ratio, the
Right.
space and all that kind of stuff. And then they were supposed to create a different shape of the pizza to go in the same box because it's comparing your surface areas. And he was like, why can't the pizza just be triangles? It's supposed to be triangles. Like, it's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
testing your math. This is math, not, but pizza is supposed to be a triangle. Okay, well, it can be triangles. We can make up different triangles to make like a tanagram to
You're
make
right.
different. Okay. So I was able to divert, but
Ooh.
ooh, that was close. It was
Yeah.
very close.
I mean, going along with that, it's it's neurological. So you don't see the physical attributes like you would with the physical disability. It's
Right.
not in the forefront. It's always something different every single time. And so it's hard
Hmm.
to raise awareness for it. And I'm
Hmm.
so glad that you avoided a meltdown with them. And I'm really glad that you thought outside the box with them. That was a nice save, Jess.
Yeah. Well,
It
and
was.
as a parent, when you continue to go through these things, you learn to think outside the box, and you get quicker and quicker on your feet because you just have to.
You have
I mean,
to,
there's
right?
just
You adapt.
you can't. There's no other way around it, and so it's yeah. So we wanted to the other thing I put on we have our little notes, and I'm looking after because my notes are over on this screen here, but if you are watching us, you see that the word spectrum is done in what looks like puzzle pieces, and behind our faces is a graphic that has puzzle pieces in it. So a lot of people, and there is controversy over this. There is so many other things when it comes. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know that you can have anything without controversy anymore.
Mm-mm.
But um, you did some research into the puzzle piece as
I
the
did.
logo, I guess,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's an adopted logo as of right now. I just want to, as you touch on based on what you said, um, there's always going to be an issue with political correctness. As
Mhm.
time changes, logos change, and so the controversy and the debate going on right now is that we are well aware of the debate, but the logo has not changed, and so we are going to talk about the puzzle logo.
Mhm.
But the controversy with it going on is that it is no longer politically correct, and so that's where the controversy is coming in.
Mhm.
However, it was originally created in 1963, the puzzle piece,
Mhm.
in London, actually. So it wasn't even the United States. It was in London in 1963 by a guy named Gerald Gasson. He was a
Wow.
parent and he was a
Mhm.
board member of the National Autism Society.
Okay,
And
they're in
he
England.
created this primary symbol,
Right.
which in his mind, it was a visual aid to illustrate the puzzling nature
Mhm.
of autism, because the nature of autism is very puzzling. It's hard to understand, as we just well
Oh, yeah.
stated. Um,
Mhm.
and so that was created in 1963, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize it was in London, so I learned something new the other day.
That's
Um,
cool.
and then to go farther into it, in
Mhm.
1999, the Autism Society here in the United States adopted the sign as a universal sign for autism awareness, but they put it
Mhm.
in a ribbon,
Okay.
which the puzzle pattern reflects the complexity of the autism spectrum. And
Mhm.
then different
Which it is.
colors and shapes represent the diversity of the people and families
I like
living
that.
with this condition, which I think that's super cool.
I
Um,
like that a lot.
how come?
Um, because our families, each and every one of us that live in this, like, are on this spectrum journey in our spectrum life, you know, uh, when it's kind of a ripple effect. But because you have that like the stone in the middle would be in the pond is
Right,
the loved one that has autism.
right.
But that effect trickles out to everybody, and each person is different, Each
Mhm.
autistic person is different.
Mhm.
That's 100%. We know that to be sure. But my journey isn't going to be the same as somebody else's journey.
Right.
But and a lot of what we do, I mean, it is puzzling. A lot of what we do for sensory issues is, I mean, for us, um, Curtis goes back and forth. He can
Right.
be hypo or hyper.
Right.
We can get into those terminologies later, but one day you touch him and it's like you slapped him and you just barely touched him like that. And he's like, you just slapped me. You're going to kill me. But then the next day he wants these huge bear hugs
Right.
because he needs that sensation to help him calm him down. So it can go one way or the other. So it's puzzling. From one day to the next, you just don't know what's going to work. And so
Right.
you have to have a lot of tools in your tool belt. Okay, it's not every single time we can have one protocol.
Right.
We have to learn so many different ways of handling. Well, you
Right.
could use a sensory bin, you could use a weighted blanket, you could use this, you could do that. Bubbles work one day, then blowing bubbles don't work the next day. You got to have all these things at your fingertips to be able to deal with it and figure out what's going to happen and what's going to
Right.
work at that time. So it is puzzling. It
It
really
is.
is.
It is. That's a good
So
insight. I
I
like
like
that.
that. Uh,
Um, and then it says the brightness of the ribbon signals hope. So the bright
mm,
colors of the primary colors is signaling hope that the awareness will increase and that
well,
through early intervention and supports, people with autism will lead full lives to able to interact with the world on their own terms.
I like that. Remember what Terrence told us last time? Autism is hope.
Autism is hope. Yes, I do like that.
So
Good
yeah,
memory.
he I remembered that when I was reading that this afternoon. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He told us that, and that is so true.
It is
Autism
good.
is hope. There is hope that life. I mean, and there was a poem that was written. I can't remember the title of it, but it's a precious poem. And it talks about how when I think we talked about it a couple of times ago about how when you're pregnant and you have your child and it's like you're on this journey on this bus and you mean to go to Italy, but then you wind up in Holland.
Mhm.
Um, Precious poem, and it really opens your eyes as an autistic parent to understand and know that it's not so bad here in Holland. Having life with an autistic child is not the end of the world. It's
Uh-uh.
okay. What it gives us is a different journey.
It is a different.
We do things differently. We
Mhm.
experience things differently, and that's okay. It's totally okay. And so, I like that. Autism is hope, and it's okay.
I like that.
So one of the other things that comes around is this April 2nd.
Yes.
World two parts of that one, and we're going to talk about that. So April 2nd is what has been dubbed Light It Up Blue for Autism Awareness.
Mhm.
Now, there's the Light It Up Blue came from an organization, and the color blue, that idea came from an organization known as Autism Speaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that part of it, just that part of it. But we're not here to debate that organization.
Nope.
We're not going to get into that because all I can say is, regardless of whether or not people want to light it up blue or not, I choose to do it because I'm, I guess I have a lot of reasons why I do that, and I guess we'll just kind of unfold as we go along. I just think that what they have done so far for awareness for the autism community is pretty amazing.
They have.
It
They've done a
wouldn't,
lot.
I mean, you wouldn't be debating it them or their organization if they hadn't been doing a lot, right?
Right.
Because if it's take for instance us and our podcast right now, we're not very big right now, so it's not like a lot of people are going to be talking a lot about us. Although hopefully we hope that starts becoming something that people understand that
Right.
we're there to help you. Um, but I guess the call is what we are doing our best to promote awareness, and they've done something to help promote awareness. So,
Mhm.
um, it's, I'm just happy that there is a day in a month, because it's going to take a whole lot more than one day and 1 month out of the year for people to truly
Right.
understand the whole spectrum of what
Which, if you read and talk to some kids with autism, they will tell you that they want you to know that it's cool to do it to raise awareness one day, but to keep it ongoing,
Mhm.
to have that awareness every day.
Right. Because autism just doesn't, come around one time a year.
No.
And then, it's ongoing.
It
It's
is.
gonna be there. You just autism is autism. So I did a little bit of research on their webpage to kind of figure out why in the world April 2nd and all this kind of stuff. But I didn't know that April 2nd is a United Nations sanctioned
Whoa, whoa, hold on, hold on.
worldwide.
What? Say that
Yes,
again. What?
it is a Nations sanctioned World Autism Awareness Day.
So you're telling me it's worldwide?
It's worldwide.
Shut the
And
front door. It's worldwide.
it's worldwide.
Wait, hold on, hold on. Is there any other holidays that are worldwide like that? I really cannot think of any.
Maybe New Year, but that's
Maybe.
it.
Maybe. Well, Chinese
Well,
has a
no, no,
different New Year.
yeah, and no, no. I don't
Well,
know. There may be some other like awareness type days that are UN sanctioned,
right.
but it's pretty special for April 2nd
Yeah.
is UN sanctioned
Ah,
Worldwide Autism Awareness Day.
that
That's pretty
gives me
cool.
goosebumps. That is so cool.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
That is
I
cool.
don't know what it took to get it to be UN sanctioned,
Wow.
but thank you
Thank you.
whoever did
That's
that.
right. Thank you for
Thank
whoever
you
had that going. I know that's right.
and thank you for United Nations as a
Mhm.
whole to acknowledge
Right.
acknowledge the difficulty that life with autism creates.
Right.
That's really cool. I mean, to me, I'm like, yes, that's awesome.
To be on a
Now,
national level, that is so cool.
yeah, that's really cool. Now, the lighted up blue part of autism worldwide autism awareness day was created by the lighted up blue. Okay, this is directly from Autism Speaks frequently asked questions webpage.
Mhm.
And it says the Light It Up Blue initiative was created by Autism Speaks in 2010. Since that time, joined by the international autism community, hundreds of thousands of landmarks, buildings, homes, and communities around the world light blue on World Autism Awareness Day, April 2nd, in recognition of people with autism.
That's cool.
That's great.
That's cool.
Some people, I mean, you gotta just okay. So why blue? Well, you gotta remember. Now I'm gonna be all techie on you because I'm a tech person. And my husband, the autism dad, is the one who's sitting behind the other side of me doing all the tech work. Okay, when you think about it, the lights that you can see, you don't want it to be red for
Right.
obvious reasons.
Right.
Then you can't really see white light. White light is just, bright, open. You can't really have yellow light on things because that's kind of like the sun all day, every day. So, of the other ones, you got purple, which is going to be difficult to see. You see red, orange, let's see, Roy G. Let's just go Roy G. Biv. Red, no. Orange. I'm sorry, but not everybody looks good in orange, especially me. Yellow is going to be too light of a color, and it's really difficult for that temperature of light because you got to actually think about the fact that lights have temperatures. Um, uh, G is green. That means go where Christmas lights.
Right.
Um, Biv, blue, indigo, and violet.
Go blue. Isn't it one of the
Let's go
primary
blue.
colors of the adopted autism Puzzle piece logo?
Well, yeah, RGB.
Mhm.
Red, green, blue. Every single pixel of color that you see in any of your screens is on what's called the RGB, the red, green, blue. You mix them together, you get the color. So it's a primary good color. So I'm cool with blue. Actually, blue is one of my favorite colors, so I'm all for blue.
I love it.
Um, so yeah, I just think it's amazing that for the last 10 years, more and more people and landmarks and everything have
Mhm.
adopted the position of putting blue on their building or their homes for at least that day. Um, I know what we've decided to do is we did this, what, 2, 3 years ago.
Mhm.
We put blue light bulbs in our outside lights, and we turned them on for blue for April. And blue kinda just stayed in there for, like, 2.5 years.
I love it.
That was one of the things I had to have my husband do before we leave. We left and we sold the house. Oh, by the way, we gotta change out those blue light bulbs out in the front of the house. 'Cause every time, "Oh, we're the house with the blue lights on."
That's awesome. Didn't the
It
in the
works. I mean,
White
'cause
House, one of the landmarks that have now started with the,
mhm. Yeah,
blue lights as well?
I think I was pretty sure when I was searching things on, the web, I saw a picture of the White House from 2019 that, was lighting it up blue.
That's awesome.
There's lots of landmarks. I would love, 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 love to hear, um, I would love for our listeners, our viewers, if you
Yeah.
see anything, if you intend to wear blue
Yeah.
or put some blue lights up on April 2nd or any part of April,
Mhm.
shoot us an email, message us on Facebook, let us know, or through a tweet or on Instagram. Tag us in it and let us know that you are supporting families and people with autism.
Yep.
Um, I'm actually working right now to find out if our new HOA will let us put blue lights. I forgot to figure that out before
Just do it.
all this came about, but hopefully we'll be able to put our blue lights on this as we like to do. Um, I'm excited to see if there's any buildings in my new area here in Tennessee that lighted up blue for autism awareness.
Right.
It'd be really cool.
It would be cool.
Um, and it'll be interesting to see if people still turn those blue lights on even amidst all of the turmoil going on right now. I understand if it doesn't happen
Mhm.
because it's a little bit crazy out
It does. It
there.
is right now. It's chaotic.
It is, and regardless, I think the you were telling me something about the slogan or initiative that they've adopted for this year's.
It's called Be
Um,
Kind.
mm,
So the school that I work at, admin and some of the general education population and all the teachers on my hallway ended up buying Be Kind shirts, and we were going to wear them in April.
mhm,
I don't know if we still are because the schools are shut down right now. But
yeah,
the message behind Be Kind is, as everybody has stated, it takes more than one day to be aware, to bring awareness and
right,
change people's perspective towards autism. With that being
right,
said, that be kind means just be kind to them 365 days out
oh, yeah,
of the year. Don't judge, just accept it what it
mhm,
is. If they
mhm,
ask for help, hey, do you need help? Or hey, what's going on? And just don't assume
mm,
that you can just jump in and help. Because sometimes it can actually
mhm,
make matters worse. But that's what be kind means, is just
right,
be kind 24/7 and just raise awareness to it.
mhm.
So I was
I
really
think,
excited about that.
yeah, that's exciting, and I love I love the fact that there is that be kind there because that's something we need to adopt all the way around.
All the way around,
I
even if it's
mean,
not just for autism, but just all the way around,
no,
right?
disability, anything, even right now in this time period that we're in with this pandemic. I mean,
There
can't we be kind to each other?
Yeah, because there's so
Reach out and
much
help each other?
uncertainty going on. No one
Mhm.
knows what to do.
No one knows, and what people don't understand, it's rough on us all the way around. I am not going to deny that in any shape, fashion, or form. But it's even more difficult, for those with autism,
Mhm.
because especially with that, the rigidity in their schedule, the way they have to line things up, or
Mhm.
things have to go this way, or your pizza has to be a triangle type thinking.
Mhm.
Now everything is thrown out the window. They used to be able to go to the park and swing on the big swings
Mhm.
on such and such a date.
Mhm.
Can't do that now.
Mhm. It
Um,
is. Another
and so
thing
that
is, kids with autism pick up how the parents feel, and so they
Yeah.
feed off of it. I was talking to of one of my other kiddos, and he goes, "I'm having such a hard time with homeschooling my mom. I can see what's going on with him, but I want to see my friends, and I just can't understand why I cannot go outside. Why can I not go see my friends? It's hard."
Mhm. I mean, we had I was telling you before this started that, we had a horrible morning.
Mm,
I mean,
I'm
it
sorry.
was a knockdown, drag out, and sometimes there are mornings in every single autism house, and probably every household with children right now. Um,
Yeah.
I think I saw a meme, I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, it said something about how many kids are gonna like the teacher they're going back to because they really appreciate their old teachers because their new teacher's mean. Yeah, it's
I've seen
I
memes, Jess, that said, "Oh, one kid is already expelled and a teacher's been fired." I die.
Have you seen the meme that comes across that said that, "Dear teacher, if you want such and such in your classroom, go
Yes.
ahead and request all these awesome things because you will be paid." You're Yay, teachers in the classroom.
Yay! Oh,
Oh, we all
man.
understand that, but man, we were having a bad morning this morning.
Right,
Um, and it just,
right.
there was there was some yelling and on all parts, and we had to just stop for a minute and sit down and have a family meeting and apologize to each other. And um, there was part of it, and I looked over at my son, and he said, "Mom, I just want people to understand how hard it is for me every day."
Ooh, ooh, that's pulling on some heartstrings there.
Just killed me, and we have to stop as autism parents. We stop and we have to think, how hard is it for them just to get out of bed?
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, I want to stay in bed, but the world around them isn't something that they can truly understand. So, no, they don't want to get out of bed.
No.
I mean, most of us don't want to get out of bed right now, but we got to be kind.
Mhm.
And that's why I like this, that it's hard every single day.
Not on just him, on just on everybody.
Yeah.
As a family, it just goes back to that ripple effect that you were talking about and
Mhm.
how it affects him and then it affects everybody,
It
and
does.
you're trying to keep as a parent, you're trying to keep your cool, you're trying to keep your kids so they don't have to worry because you don't want your kids to worry. But deep down,
Mhm.
you're like, now what? Uh,
Yeah.
what? I'm losing my
But
tools out of my toolkit right about now. Like, wait, what?
what am I? I
Yeah,
get Yeah.
yeah. And then the kids pick up on that, and then, you know,
Mhm.
I get it. I'm sorry.
So you just have to sit down and take a breath and apologize and give lots of hugs.
Right. And then based off what Terrence said, autism is what?
Autism is hope.
Autism is hope. Yep,
So there is hope for tomorrow,
there
and,
is.
things can keep on going.
Yeah.
So,
Light it up blue.
uh, yeah, I know we're gonna hey, but, one thing, that's gonna be interesting is we're going to be going, uh, weekly with our podcast through April, right?
Yes, we
So
are.
so every week we're going to be coming back to you with some ideas about autism awareness and giving some ideas of how, as because this is Awareness Month,
Mhm.
as moms, maybe some and families, some ideas of how, well, from our perspective, how you as an RBT have taught me and how we've worked together to help teach Curtis different things. One of the times, we can probably focus on the we'll let you guys know whether we're focusing on, say, sensory issues or social
Mhm.
cues, things like that. Because I know there's a lot of instances that Curtis gets into where people just don't understand what he's doing or why
Mhm.
he's saying certain things. There's the rigid and the literal thinking.
Mhm.
If for instance, you can tell, there were times before we got into when we were first starting our journey. Um, you could look at Curtis and say, "Put that down." I remember one instance I said, "Put that down." He just dropped it right there. He put it down. All all I could do was shake my head. I couldn't get upset at him
Okay.
because I did not specify put it down on the table. I said, "Put that down." So we put it down. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so you learn how to specify, different things.
Mhm.
There's, other we're looking into some things. I know one thing that I have another book to recommend, and I actually found out something by looking at my special edition here. So I picked this up, let's
Yeah,
see, where's my camera at today? So this
rules.
book is called Rules
Yep.
by Cynthia Lord. It was recommended to me by, a school psychologist, so I picked it up at the library and I read it. Just about cried. It is a
Oh.
great book it is based on for a 12 year from the perspective of a 12-year-old
Mhm.
girl who has a younger autistic sibling, her
Wow.
brother. And so
Wow.
it talks about a lot of the things they experienced, and as I kept wondering, "How in the world is this author so good?" And this particular edition happens to have a, interview with the author in the back, and I was impressed because, uh, let's see, it's a Q&A with her, and, the first question, of course, is, "Where did the idea for rules come from?"
Right.
And she answers, "I have 2 children, a daughter and a son, and my son has autism."
Wow.
So she got some of her inspiration, a little bit from, you can read the book and read the interview with her and get some more ideas, or learn more about where, some of the ideas for the story came from, but I thought it was a great book.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna order it.
It's a
Uh-oh,
good one
trading.
yeah, I read it myself. When I saw it and then I saw that it's published by Scholastic. I
Cool, I might have it in
immediately got
the classroom then. I'll see if I have it in the classroom first.
yes, oh, it is on Amazon as
Okay.
well, but you can possibly pick it up depending on, your school's book fair. Sometimes Scholastic will come around and it may be available there, but Amazon, of course, the link for that will be posted in our show notes at myspectrumlife.com.
Fantastic.
And of course, that is an affiliate program for us. So if you decide you want to pick that up, if you'll click on our link there, it will help support the show in a little bit, in a way. So that would
Awesome.
be great. Um, So I was telling you about another book that I was reading that I'm gonna continue to read, especially this month. I was looking at, for some different books. Called 10 Things Every Child with Autism Wishes
Mine
You
comes
Knew.
in tomorrow.
Ooh, yay, by Ellen N Notbohm.
Yep.
And that link is in our show notes as well. And I am learning, um, some cool stuff from this book, and some ways to talk about or to address autism with those that I come in contact with. One thing that she highlights is making sure that you address and talk to other people and give them some tools on how to address or deal with your child.
Yeah.
If your child is, young and you take him to say, like I take my son to youth group, things like that. So
Right.
I'm going to continue to read that book, and we're going to be reading that. I don't know. You want to read that book with me for April?
Sounds good. I'll read it with you.
All right. We'll be reading that book. If you pick the book up and you have any comments, drop us a line and let us know what you think. Either book, I would be. It would be awesome to hear from you. Facebook.com, Instagram, Twitter, or you can email us at info@myspectrumlife.com. And we would also love during Autism Awareness Month, if you have any topics or questions specific to autism, what you would like to know, if you are dealing with or have any interactions with somebody who's on the spectrum, drop us a line and let us know what you would like to know. We would love to answer those questions. As an autism mom or guardian or parent or dad, any other questions that you have for us, please just drop us a line. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. When are we going to do this again now, Kelsey?
Monday, April 6th, and weekly every Monday in April for Autism Awareness.
That'll be awesome.
I know. I'm so excited to go weekly.
This will be cool. So, but I hope that you have learned just a little bit about what's coming up with Autism Awareness Month and Worldwide Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd. And I hope you choose to participate some way to bring awareness or to support families or friends that you know that are on the spectrum. Anything you can do to help support them will be a wonderful thing that they will enjoy and be thankful for. But like we always say, with a lot of faith, love, and some of them their fidget toys, we'll make it.
We'll make it. We will.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time
April
on My Spectrum Live.